Subject: e-commerce. Let me tell you about opportunities for points. Totally 100 points. 20 points discussion participation, questions, comments. 20 points report with presentation, PowerPoint. 10 points conference participation, scientific research, abstracts publishing. 50 points examination. Lection 1. Basics of e-commerce. Let me show you a short plan. First, definition. Second, the advantages of e-commerce. Third, the disadvantages of e-commerce. Fourth, trends of the e-commerce market. Fifth, consumer data privacy and security. Electronic commerce, e-commerce, is a type of business model or segment of a larger business model that enables a firm or individual to conduct business over an electronic network, typically the Internet. Electronic commerce operates in all four of the major market segments: business to business, business to consumer, consumer to consumer, and consumer to business. It can be thought of as a more advanced form of mail-order purchasing through a catalog. Almost any product or service can be offered via e-commerce, from books and music to financial services and plane tickets. E-commerce businesses may employ some or all of the following: online shopping websites for retail sales direct to consumers, providing or participating in online marketplaces which process third-party business-to-consumer or consumer-to-consumer sales, business-to-business buying and selling, gathering and using demographic data through web contacts and social media, business-to-business electronic data interchange, marketing to prospective and established customers by email or fax, for example with newsletters, online financial exchange for currency exchanges or trading purposes. The beginnings of e-commerce can be traced to the 1960s, when businesses started using electronic data interchange to share business documents with other companies. In 1979, the American National Standards Institute developed ASC X12 as a universal standard for businesses to share documents through electronic networks. After the number of individual users sharing electronic documents with each other grew in 1980s, in the 1990s the rise of eBay and Amazon revolutionized the e-commerce industries. Consumers can now purchase endless amounts of items online. E-commerce is conducted using a variety of applications, such as email, online catalogs, and shopping carts. This includes business-to-business activities and outreach, such as using email for unsolicited ads to consumers and other business prospects, as well as to send out electronic newsletters to subscribers. The benefits of e-commerce include its all-around-the-clock availability, the speed of access, the wide availability of goods and services for the consumer, easy accessibility and international reach. Its perceived downsides include sometimes limited customer service, consumers not being able to see or touch a product prior to purchase, and the necessitated wait time for product shipping. E-commerce has allowed firms to establish a market presence or to enhance an existing market position by providing a cheaper and more efficient distribution chain to their products or services. One example of a firm that has successfully used e-commerce is Target. This mass retailer not only has physical stores, but also has an online store where the customer can buy everything from clothes to coffee makers to action figures. Some advantages of e-commerce for consumers are convenience. E-commerce can take place 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Selection. Many stores offer a wider array of products online than they do in their brick-and-mortar stores. And stores that exist only online may offer consumers a selection of goods that they otherwise could not access. But e-commerce also has its disadvantages for consumers. Limited customer service. If you want to buy a computer and you are shopping online, there is no employee you can talk to about which computer would best meet your needs. No instant gratification. When you buy something online, you have to wait for it to be shipped to your home or office. No ability to touch and see a product. Online images don't always tell the whole story about an item. E-commerce transactions can be dissatisfying when the product the consumer received is different than expected. The e-commerce market continues to grow. Online shopping is up by 45% in 2016. US online shoppers will spend over $327 billion in 2016, up 45% from $226 billion in 2015. By the end of 2015, the mobile share of global e-commerce transactions was over 40%, according to the criteria, and is expected to grow to 70% by 2017. By 2017, US customers' mobile engagement behavior will drive mobile commerce revenue in the US to 50% of US digital commerce revenue. New data from Shoe Apparel's monthly small business scorecard shows that only 26% of small businesses have an e-commerce site or even use their website in any way to conduct sales. Again, 74% of small businesses served by Shoe Apparel don't have an e-commerce enabled website. So, even though most experts agree on the importance of a website, perhaps it's the skills required to build an e-commerce site or a website in general that's keeping small businesses away from the building sales platform. Below you'll find e-commerce trends, data and statistics reporting on exactly how Americans shop online. Do you know that 51% of Americans prefer to shop online? 96% of Americans have made an online purchase in their life, 80% in the past month alone. Let's talk about buying frequency. 95% of Americans shop online at least yearly. 80% of Americans shop online at least monthly. 30% of Americans shop online at least weekly. 5% of Americans shop online daily. Trends by generation. 67% of millennials and 56% of Gen Xers prefer to shop online rather than in store. 41% of baby boomers and 28% of seniors will click to purchase. Millennials and Gen Xers spend nearly 50% as much time shopping online each week, 6 hours, than their older counterparts, 4 hours. Millennials and Gen Xers spend 6 hours per week shopping online. Baby boomers spend 4 hours per week shopping online. Seniors spend 2.5 hours per week shopping online. Let's talk about trends by parental status. Parents spend more of their budget online in comparison to non-parents, 40% vs 34%, and spend 75% more time online shopping each week, 7 hours vs 4 hours for non-parents. Parents spend 61% more online than non-parents. Nearly half, 49% of parents stated that they cannot live without online shopping. Let's talk about trends by gender. Men reported spending 28% more online than women during the past year. 52% of men have shopped on marketplaces, 75% at large retailer sites, 39% on web stores or independent boutiques, and 31% at category-specific online stores. 56% of women have shopped on the marketplaces, 74% at large retailer sites, 48% on web stores or independent boutiques, and 40% at category-specific online stores. Men and women both report spending 5 hours per week shopping online. And at the end of our lecture, let's talk about consumer data privacy and security. The rise of e-commerce forces IT personnel to move beyond infrastructure design and maintenance and consider numerous customer-facing aspects, such as consumer data privacy and security. To ensure the security, privacy, and effectiveness of e-commerce, businesses should authenticate business transactions, control access to resources such as web pages for registered or selected users, encrypt communications, and implement security technologies such as the secure sockets layer and two-factor authentication. Thank you very much for your attention. Are there any questions? Comments and opinions would be appreciated.